Tuesday at 6:30 on Unsportsmanlike during the football season, which means I like to rank the top 5 teams in the NFL going into the next week. So we got week 9 on deck, and these are the Chris Candy Power Rankings brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right. Before we get to the Power Rankings, she is the lovely Michelle Smallman.
Thank you so much.
I see she got the memo with the black shirt.
That's right.
My man.
Black collared shirt.
I don't know what happened to the Ocho, Evan Cohen. He usually has a sport coat on, if not a hoodie.
A crew neck today.
And most of the time he's matching us. Today he just went off script. You're doing your thing. Kind of like Patrick Mahomes.
That's right.
You're just improvising.
Maybe uneven early and
improvising
21-0 late.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and these are, I'm the resident Super Bowl champ, and these are my power rankings. Pat Costello, let's get to it.
Number 5.
The Seattle Seahawks. Now it gets real for Seattle as they're favored in only 5 of their 10 remaining games according to our FPI. Coming off of the bye week, 3 of their next 4 opponents are on the road. The Seahawks are the number 1 rush defense, and their offense led the league in explosive plays coming into week 8. They need to clean up the turnovers and develop more balance on the offense side of the ball with the run game. If they can do those things, then Seattle will be the team to beat in the NFC West.
So I just went back and looked it up. The Seahawks were number 4 in the power rankings last week, so they dropped a spot.
Yeah, because we have a team that's new in our power rankings this week.
Oh, okay, so that's why.
They weren't in our power rankings last week.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the list from last week.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see who jumped in and jumped above Seattle.
Well, you don't have to wait too long, and I think you'll be pleased with who this team is. Number 4.
Number 4.
The Green Bay Packers.
Let's go.
Dominant performance on the road in Pittsburgh in Week 8. Cowboys playoff win aside, Evan. Probably J-Lo's best performance considering the stage and who he did it against. The taking of the torch from Aaron Rodgers. He went on a run of 20 consecutive completions, tying the longest streak in a game in Packers franchise history, on his way to 360 yards passing and 3 tuds. Defensively, Jeff Hafley's group was hunting up front. They had 9 pressures, 5 quarterback hits, and 3 sacks on Aaron Rodgers, despite a 2.77 average snap to throw time, and only blitzing once across 39 Steelers dropbacks. Clear that at their best, the Packers have another gear that most teams just can't get to, and the Steelers found that out on Sunday Night Football.
There's also one other thing that maybe they're starting to do. The dynastic teams over the last 20 or 30 years in the NFL, the number 1 weapon for those teams has always been the tight end, and then the wide receivers complement it. If Tucker Kraft becomes his number 1 guy, and then Golden and Watson and Dobbs, and if Reed comes back, and all these other guys are the complementary pieces, you're dangerous at that point. If Kraft becomes his number 1 guy, which, I mean, he clearly was on Sunday night, I'm not saying Kelsey and Gronk, but I'm not saying that if I'm one Michelle Smallman, I'll tell you that much. If I'm you, I'm thinking, hey, that kind of resembles what greatness looks like, right? The tight end position is an important one for great teams. Niners were in the Super Bowl twice with this group, didn't win. Who's their number 1 option? Kittle. Right?
Yeah.
Even Debo, ball going off his face last time. You get the point. That's what I would be most excited about for Jordan Love, who I didn't know we called J-Lo.
You love you some tight ends.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
You love
Huge
you some
tight end guy.
Well, I mean, if you love tight ends, then you're going to love number 3 in the power rankings.
Okay.
Number 3.
The Detroit Lions, who's head coach. My former teammate, former tight end, Dan Campbell.
Yep.
The bye week is exactly what this team needed in Week 8 to get on the other side of the cluster injuries that they had in the secondary. Both starting safeties are expected back in Week 9 against the Vikings. Quarterbacks Terrion Arnold and Avonte Maddox should be back in Week 10, and DJ Reed will be in the window to return to practice off of IR soon. If that unit gets healthy, Detroit is the best team in the NFC. They can play any style on offense. They entered Week 8 with the 3rd most explosive plays in the NFL. They have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Aiden Hutchinson, and they have an experienced quarterback who once upon a time took a team to the Super Bowl. With the Vikings and the Commanders on deck, the Lions got a chance to stack some wins before the meat of their schedule. The Detroit Lions checking in at number 3 on this week's Power Rankings.
The Lions are very good, and they are really rounding into form at the right time, too. So much so that I'm really grateful that the Packers beat the Lions in Week 1, and they have that game in hand because the Lions are a huge threat to my Green Bay Packers team. They're awesome.
Are you worried about Thanksgiving?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm just putting it out there. Make your turkey taste terrible if you catch the fade. to the Detroit Lions. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm just saying. That's a big game. That's a big game.
What's amazing about your power rankings is we have Seattle 5, Green Bay 4, Detroit 3. There's 2 spots left, and I have 6 teams that I think could be in the 2 spots.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a few.
This is fascinating. Go ahead.
I know
Number
one.
2.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes is doing Mahomes-like things again. Monday night's win against the Commanders in Week 8 marked the 3rd straight game where he threw for 3 touchdowns. The last time he did that was when Tyreek Hill was on the team back in 2021. Mahomes has thrown for 14 touchdowns over the last 5 games, which leads the league during that span. Also leading the NFL in passing yards and completions outside of the pocket. His ability to extend it down is what makes this offense so deadly. And the scary part about that is that unit isn't even the most dominant phase of the Kansas City Chiefs football team.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs defense is top 5 in yards and points, and while they don't have gaudy numbers, what they do is suffocate opposing offenses with assignment football, top 10 in the fewest explosive plays allowed, and they're sure tacklers. They're top 3 in fewest missed tackles. Next 3 games are big. Bills, Broncos, and Colts with the bye week sandwiched in between. That stretch could very well determine who has the number 1 seed in the playoffs in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Chiefs have to be in here after last night and what they've been doing recently. You obviously broke it down, and I love that they're in here. They deserve to be in here. I would take them over everyone still, but you did not take them over everyone because they have it. You have them at number 2.
Yeah, but there can only be one number 1.
Number 1.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
Open your ears, people, and listen. The Colts are a historically great offense. I'm going to say it again. The Colts are a historically great offense. They smoked the Titans 38-14 in Week 8. Indy has scored at least 30 points in 6 of their first 8 games this season, the most in the team's first 8 games of a season in franchise history. I don't know if you know this, but Johnny Unitas played there, Peyton Manning played there. This offense has had the most 30-point games in the first half of the season in franchise history. The Colts 3.46 points per drive this season, second best mark of any team through the first weeks of a season since 2000, trailing only the 2007 Patriots, who had 3.57 points per drive. That was the year that Tom Brady threw for 50 touchdowns. The Colts have scored either a touchdown or a field goal on 62% of their offensive drives, the highest rate by any team through the first half of the season in the last 45 seasons. The biggest reason for their success is running back Jonathan Taylor, who on Sunday logged his 4th game this season with 3+ touchdowns, the most of any player in a season since LaDainian Tomlinson, 6 during the 2006 MVP campaign. Taylor is on pace for 29 touchdowns, which will rank him 2nd all-time. If he does get to that mark and the Colts hold serve with the best record in the conference, Jonathan Taylor will be your 2025 MVP. The Indianapolis Colts are checking in at number 1 in this week's power rankings. So there it is, the Week 9 Canty Power Rankings. Indianapolis Colts number 1, Kansas City Chiefs number 2, Detroit Lions number 3, Green Bay Packers number 4, Seattle Seahawks number 5. Smalls, you are my accountability partner. Any objections, any omissions?
An objection and an omission, and let's start here. What about the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles sitting there at 6-2? Saquon finally gets going this week. They get the revenge game against the Giants. They look like they're putting it together. They don't make the list at all. You have the Seahawks above the Eagles?
Yeah, because I don't know what's going on with A.J. Brown. And I don't know that this team can be at their best until they have some resolution on that front. Also, some of the injuries along the offensive line, something to keep an eye on. I mean, Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson were back in the lineup, but Cam Jurgens, their all-world center, was out. Didn't seem to matter against the Giants this week, but I don't know, man. Something just seems a little off from the Eagles.
I also thought maybe the New England Patriots might get some love. 6-2, sitting atop the AFC East. Drake May, looking awesome.
More. I need to see more. I love the Patriots. Need to see more.
Okay.
I had 5 teams I would take over Seattle.
Okay.
Did I just name 2 of them?
No, seriously. Because these are week by week, and Seattle had a bye, so they're not as top of mind for me. I would take Tampa over them.
You can't exclude them because of a bye.
I understand, but I'm saying I would take Tampa over them. Actually, maybe more than this. I would take the Rams over them. I would take Philadelphia over them. I think there's an argument Denver over them, and I think there's an argument New England over them, and I think there's an argument Buffalo over them. Actually, 6. I would consider taking over Seattle. Now, here's the problem with that. For me, it's not trusting the quarterback in the big moments. We're not at the big moments yet. We're through these amount of games right now. Seattle's been excellent, no question, but it's very interesting where we went from part of the season early where like, hey, do we have these great teams? So now I think we have a lot of really good teams in the league that in your mind you could make up, could I see them making a run? Like, is it that wild to think that this team could make a run? And I think we got a bunch of those.
I also want to bring up one other point. For those who might be new to the program, thank you for joining us. We love to have you. We've been doing this for 3 seasons now. And for 2 of those 3 seasons, when CC did his power rankings on Tuesday, it was the Kansas City Chiefs, draw a line, everybody else. You have the Chiefs coming on. This offense looks awesome. Patrick Mahomes looked like vintage Patrick Mahomes. Spags in that defense never left. And you still have the Colts above them. You're not defaulting to Kansas City #1, which is a huge, huge sign of respect for what this Colts team is doing. So I just wanted to emphasize that because, you know, CC could have gone back and said, hey, it's the Chiefs. I'm going to default to them #1. But to have the Colts there week in and week out as #1, I'm listening to what you're saying.
I do wonder if these power rankings on November 25th could revert back to challengers to the Chiefs. Because if the Chiefs beat the Bills, Broncos, and then Colts 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, then it goes.
Then we revert. Get the old imaging back.
Then we go back to
Then we go back.
to the Chiefs.
ESPN Bet has the Chiefs as the Super Bowl favorite right now at +500. Lions, Packers, Bills, Eagles after that. Colts not in the top 5
That's
in terms
crazy.
of ESPN. Well, we haven't seen them, this version of them, do this before, hence that. All right, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776 is the number to jump in the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Take one out, put one on. One off, one on. CC's power rankings. You have the Colts 1, Chiefs, then Lions, then Packers, then Seahawks. Your job is to take one of them off, but you have to put another team on in that top 5. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. We'll get your phone calls in on the Dr. Pepper call-in lines. Coming up, we're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.